5 stars. Verified purchase. September 2014. Amazon logged it as a product review. It was a confession. 26 months after that review was posted, a Spartanburg County deputy stood in front of a shipping container on 95 acres of South Carolina pine and heard banging coming from inside it. There were 5 padlocks on the door. Heavy duty, solid steel, exactly 5. The man who bought them had written his own instruction manual in public for 2 years under the username me. 140 reviews, shovels, knives, a chainsaw, body armor. Thousands of people read them. Some of them left comments. Some of them thought they were funny. Nobody called the police. November 3rd, 2016, Woodruff, South Carolina. Deputies came onto the property with a search warrant, and honestly, they did not expect to find anything. They were looking for a couple who had vanished on the last day of August. Carla Brown, 30. Charlie Carver, 32. 64 days gone. That is well past the point where a missing persons file quietly becomes a body recovery file. The land belonged to a realtor, 45 years old, ran his own firm with 12 employees, 2 degrees, computer science and business administration, held a pilot's license, owned planes. He had bought 95 acres and wrapped them in chain link fence. And when people asked why, he gave an answer nobody ever questions in the rural South. Privacy. What brought them there was not intuition, it was a cell tower. Charlie Carver's phone had pinged near the property. That is it. That is the entire thread. One signal from a dead phone and a warrant written on the strength of it. Then somebody stopped walking and listened. Metal. On metal. Steady. Deliberate. The rhythm of something that has been doing this for a very long time and has learned not to waste the energy. They cut the locks. All 5. Carla Brown was chained inside by the neck. She had been in that box since the 31st of August, 65 days by the count the sheriff's office gave. She had been fed occasionally. She had been assaulted. She had heard the man come and go, and she had counted the days by the light through the seam in the door. And the first thing she did, before water, before a blanket, before anyone had told her she was safe, was give a statement. He shot Charlie 3 times in the chest. He wrapped him in a blue tarp, put him in the bucket of the tractor. I never saw him again. She was still chained when she said it. Here's the thing about that rescue. It was supposed to be the end of a missing persons case. Within 72 hours, it had become something else entirely. 7 murders, 2 kidnappings, and a 13-year cold case that had defeated an entire county. Because while she was in that container, the man who put her there talked. He liked talking. He told her he was a serial killer. He told her his real number was closer to 100, and that he wanted 3 digits before he was finished. Investigators would spend the next years deciding how much of that was true. But the first part, the part he could prove, he proved within a day. He was born Todd Christopher Sampsell in Florida in 1971. His parents split early. His father would later describe the boy in a way that stops you. He said the only emotion Todd ever really showed was fury. That is not a metaphor. In 1986, at 15 years old in Tempe, Arizona, he took a 14-year-old girl at gunpoint from outside her home. He marched her to his house. He bound her hands with a cable. He raped her, and he let her go, telling her that if she talked, he would kill her younger siblings. She talked. He confessed immediately and completely. What unsettled the detectives was not the crime. It was the delivery. No remorse, no panic. He explained it the way you would explain a decision at work. Tried as an adult, 15 years. He served 14, nearly the whole thing, which tells you what the parole board saw. He walked out in 2001 at 30 years old, registered as a sex offender, which was public, searchable, permanent, and then did something that in hindsight is almost administrative in its cynicism. He changed his surname to his mother's maiden name, Kohlhepp. He moved states to South Carolina, and he built a life so respectable that it functioned as camouflage. 2 degrees, graphic design, then real estate. By 2008, he owned TKA Real Estate with 12 people under him. planes, property, a pilot's license. He sold families their homes. His sex offender registration was never hidden. It was one search away the entire time. Nobody ever looked. That is the pattern of this whole case. The information was always available, and availability turns out to be worth almost nothing on its own. And then in 2003, 2 years after his release, 4 people were shot dead in a motorcycle shop 25 miles from where he was building all of it. For 13 years, nobody connected those two facts. November 6, 2003, just before 3 in the afternoon, Superbike Motorsports in Chesnee, South Carolina. A man walked in with a 9mm and killed everyone in the building. Scott Ponder, 30. He owned the place. Beverly Dye, 52. Scott's mother. She was there helping out. Brian Lucas, 29. The service manager. Chris Sherbert, 26. The mechanic working in the back. 18 shell casings on the floor. A friend of Scott's walked in roughly 7 minutes later and found all 4 of them. Then nothing. For 13 years. No witnesses, no weapon, no forensic thread, and critically, no motive. Investigators chased drug theories, business rivalry theories, jealousy theories. The case became one of those files that gets reopened every few years by a new detective who thinks he sees something and doesn't. 4 families spent 13 years being told there was no news. Carla Brown gave them the thread. He had bragged to her in that container, and one of the things he bragged about was Superbike. When they put it to him, he confessed, all 4. And he supplied details the sheriff said only the shooter could have known. Then they asked him why. He had been in the shop over a motorcycle. There is some disagreement in the reporting about whether he was buying or returning, but every version agrees on what happened next. They laughed at him. Some staff joked that he could not really ride it. It happened in front of other customers. He left. He came back with a gun and executed 4 people, and then went home and sold real estate for 13 years. That is the whole motive. 4 lives in a 13-year investigation over an afternoon of being embarrassed in a shop. Now go back to the padlocks. Between 2014 and 2016, this man wrote 140 product reviews on an Amazon account under the display name Me. Most of them are unremarkable. That is the part people forget. He reviewed phone cases and camera gear and medical kits, and he was good at it. Detailed, practical, helpful, genuinely useful reviews. That is what made the rest of it read as a bit, because scattered through them were these. On a folding shovel, May 2014, 5 stars. Keeping car for when you have to hide the bodies, and you left the full-size shovel at home. Does not come with a midget, which would have been nice. On a knife. Haven't stabbed anyone yet, but I am keeping the dream alive. And when I do, it will be with a quality tool like this. On a chainsaw. Works excellent. Missing 5th star due to not coming with embedded teeth in a foot. On a tactical vest. Blacker than my soul. And on a set of heavy-duty padlocks, September 2014. Solid locks. Have 5 on a shipping container. Won't stop them, but sure will slow them down till they are too old to care. Read them cold, and they are edgelord humor. Every comment section on the internet has 10 of these. Now read them as an inventory. The shovel. Multiple shallow graves were found on his land. The padlocks. 5 of them on the container in 2016, described in 2014. The wish list attached to that account included books on snipercraft, on emergency battlefield surgery, on how to survive being shot. He was not being clever. He was not leaving a puzzle. He was doing what he did in 1986 and again in the interrogation room in 2016. Describing himself accurately to anyone who asked, and correctly calculating that nobody would care. And the algorithm? The algorithm read every one of those reviews. It read the word bodies. It read stabbed. It read 5 padlocks on a shipping container. And it did with them exactly what it was built to do. It worked out what to sell them next. These systems are not blind. They are extraordinarily good at pattern recognition. They are just pointed at a different question. Nothing in that stack was ever asked, is this person dangerous? It was asked, what is this person likely to buy? He was a very good customer. Carla Brown and Charlie Carver were not the first couple he hired. December 2015, 9 months earlier. Johnny Joe Coxie, 29, and his wife Megan Lee McCraw-Coxie, 26. He hired them to clean up the property. Same offer, same land, same fence. They were reported missing. Police investigated. There were no leads because there was nothing to find. No bodies, no scene, no last known location that meant anything. After his arrest, he told police where to dig. Johnny was shot on the first day. Megan he kept for a week and assaulted and then shot as well. It was the same method, executed twice. Advertise work, bring them onto private, fenced, isolated land, and use the fact that nobody knows where casual laborers went last Tuesday. The only reason Carla Brown lived is that the pattern broke on a cell tower ping. May 26, 2017. He pleaded guilty. 7 counts of murder, 2 of kidnapping, 1 of criminal sexual conduct, and he took 7 consecutive life sentences plus 60 years with no parole and a waiver of his right to appeal. The plea took the death penalty off the table. He had asked for 2 things in exchange. He wanted to see his mother before sentencing, and he wanted money from his assets put into a college fund for the child of a friend. Read that again, because it is the closest this case comes to a self-portrait. A man arranging to be remembered as generous on the day he pleads guilty to 7 murders. He has not stopped since. In 2018, he claimed there were 2 more bodies in South Carolina and never said where. Investigators believe that one is leverage, not information, kept alive so the calls keep coming. He has attempted to sell merchandise from prison, branded SKTK serial killer Todd Kohlhepp. Still reviewing himself. Still going for 5 stars. There is a version of this story where technology is the villain, and it is the satisfying version, and it is wrong. Because in the end, nothing digital caught him. No flag, no model, no alert. What caught him was a missing persons report that somebody took seriously. A cell tower ping, a judge who signed a warrant on thin evidence, a deputy who stopped walking and listened, and a woman who, after 65 days chained in a steel box, was still banging on the wall. The reviews did not solve anything. They only proved afterwards that he had been telling us the whole time. So here is what we want from you. He hid in the open because the open is enormous. 140 reviews inside hundreds of millions. Confession is not dangerous when it is indistinguishable from noise, and he understood that about the internet years before most of us did. So, should a system that reads every word you type be asked to look for this? And if you say yes, you are asking a company that sells you shovels to decide which of its customers is a killer. Would you actually want that? Who do you trust to draw that line? Tell us where you land in the comments. We read them. For more cases where the evidence was public and nobody was looking, stay with the Black Museum. Because people lie. The evidence just sits there, waiting to be read.